We'll be back to Win DC Radio right here in the community of I was this Temple Hills. Yeah, this Temple Hills, Maryland. We right here in location with Win DC Go Go and Win DC Radio platform right here for you. Me and Brother Lawrence coming to you every Saturday. Won't stop. Will not stop. We'll always be here. So you can come on through, do what you do. And we have no music or infringement on the music. We do not own the rights to the music that you heard, but we're going to keep you funkin' all through this segment. Okay, we got some good stuff coming up for you in this 2 hour of this segment, or hour for a few minutes. We're going to make it real juicy for you and some knowledge that you see. We got some things going on here for you. I got some numbers. I got some family wealth. I got some mystical secrets for wealth and health and happiness. And I also brought back our favorite that we like to do, the birthday secret language. Okay? So, excuse me, this water's so cold. Pardon me. Take that back. Also, with that being said, as far as an update on us, we've been doing our thing, still just regenerating and recuperating. Mostly been just on self, for these past few months. Other than in between the outdoor communities and regenerating, like I said, we trying to bring our levels up in our creativity by ways of detoxing ourselves of people, of blockage of all sorts. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why people came out on top of that. I say blockage, period.
Right. That's the spirit talking to you.
Right. So I'm gonna let it flow. So with that being said, and that's gonna be a part of what I'm gonna be bringing also into our lesson and knowledge that we're gonna get through today of how to accomplish good a lot of these things that I'm sharing with you, how you can accomplish these things through peace, because that has been my lesson within this last 2 weeks, has been basically on how to accomplish true sanctity, sanity, peace. So yes, and all to the honor and glory of Allah. I just want to give thanks that little small things that we take for granted, and that statement of God bless the child that has his own.
It's true.
Woo, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you, that thing there is so powerful. It is so powerful in so many ways. Just in
You can use
how
that
many
as
words is like five?
affirmation.
Yes, it is. It is affirmation. Yep, along with the eyes and the all the other things that you have shared with me, brother. It can be used. I don't be selfish with anything. I try to help. We try to help and reach out to as many people that want the help and accept the information, because like we're not professionals. We haven't got no degrees. We're just like you on this journey researching, and we're just sharing what we've learned with you. So you can take it or you can leave it. There you have it. But like I said, mostly I've been mostly detoxing myself, my surroundings, to up my levels of energy. And what about yourself, brother?
But basically, I've been doing a lot. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit today on like like candle, but really fire magic. Because you got to have the different elements when you work in magic.
Yeah.
And basically, your third, opening your third eye, because that's more important. You know, you can see the spirit realm. That's your connection actually to the spirit realm. So that's what I'm gonna be speaking on, because I know this we get into, like the music, the go-go thing. We have guests come talking about their business and all that, but I also really want to just keep it spiritual. Like today, we could have had guests on, but me and Kim said we're gonna sit down, we're gonna go back to like little basic of like how we used to do, and we can't leave the spirituality out.
No, we
You
can't.
know, even
No,
though we
it's
have
part of
our, you can show the little altar, the little shrine over there.
it. Yep.
You know,
Try to
but
bring it back.
music is part of both of us. But we want a well balance. We want the mind, the spirit, and the soul. You know,
Yes,
some people
yes,
say the
yes,
body.
yes.
So that's what we're gonna speak on. I just be dropping like the first stages of it. Like I say, everything we say in here, you have to go and do your own research because everything is not written in stone for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You take what we give you, and you might get something different. But the thing is, you start on your journey, and not sitting stagnant in one spot.
True. True, and that's what's up. So like he said, it's not written in stone, and it's a process. And keep that in the back of your mind. It's always a continuous process. You know, as long as you wake up and get a new day, you get a new start on this process. So it's a continuous process. So never think you at the end. That's why you can't give up. That's why they say always have hope and faith, because it's a continuous process. And with that being said, I guess I can start out with birthdays before I get into the other juicy stuff that I brought out for you guys. Today number, if you add them together, 3 and 1 is 4. You know, so that is
Today you say 3 and 1 is 4.
Today is the 31st.
Okay, and that's also my 13, but it just flipped
Yep.
backwards.
Yeah,
And
flip backwards.
Yesterday, my dad on my other angel number 1118 came out straight midday. I ain't had nothing on it.
And we got here and sat down, start the show at 3:13.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
so-
why I say, you know, when you see these signs, they right there in your face. You just gotta take heed to them and know them, and know that's just confirmation that you're on your path, the right path. For doing what you're
correct,
doing.
correct. And so, like I said, I'm gonna start out with the birthday language for those who were born 8/3/19ers. Let me get you that, and see how you guys gonna take it. It's I know it's been these holidays, this weather. We almost in the midst of the end of all of this. Everything is getting back to calming down season, falling down season, but not for us. We're gonna keep growing, even though I call it Indian growth summer for myself. For those, August 31st, this is called the Day of the Public Appearance. For those of you born on this day, and also born on this day, educator, physician, a rehabilitator of children, a humanitarian. Her name was Maria Montessori, back in the 1920s. She also there was Frank Robertson, baseball outfielder, Triple Crown winner, 4th all time in HR's first African American manager in Major League Baseball, James Coburn. You had the first Eldridge Cleaver, African American activist, writer, soul on ice. I know you heard of that, Eldridge Cleaver. He was born on this day. Also born on this day of our people. That's all I can find. But those that were born on this day of August the 31st, very much concerned with being in the public eye themselves and helping others to make their way in society. Those born on this day are usually people who find themselves deeply involved with events occurring around them. Not only are they inevitable, drawn to the main currents of life, but they are also fated to stand out, sometimes in a quiet way from those around them. Some August the 31st people are entertaining, simply fun to be around. Others are more serious and concerned with improving the lot of those around them, particularly children. The more entertaining type, more interesting in educating others, whether through example or by actively promoting principles and or knowledge. Hmm. Regardless of how they express themselves socially, those born on this day are most often found working in the service of their fellow human beings, trying to improve the general state of things through their efforts. That's pretty positive about you.
Chris
Eight.
Chris Tucker was born today too.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's a few people, but I don't know the other ones. Jeff Hardy, Van Morrison. Because this was more so since that
That
book was
book
printed.
made it right.
Yeah. So, 'cause he was born in 1971.
Oh, okay. And Michael Jackson's birthday was 2 days ago, the 29th. Aretha's Franklin, that's when that was the
She
anniversary of her passing.
Also, Elvis and Aretha Franklin passed on the same day, so Elvis passed on that day. A lot of years before that.
Yeah, so
And I always
Yeah.
thought it was something to that too.
yeah,
I
that
don't
was
believe
good.
coincidence.
No, me either. Yeah, so that was wild. So with that being said, it said the numbers and planets for you 83119ers is 4. It says those, like I was saying before I even opened the book. Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
Ah, don't tell me. Don't be giving it away yet. Don't give it away yet. Don't tell my secrets. Those born on 31st day of any month are ruled by the number 4 and by planet Uranus. Since only 7 months have a 31 day, it is a bit of unusual number for birthday. And the people born on this day are often equal, unusual, and hard to fathom. Those ruled by the number 4 can be difficult and argumentative since they so often see things differently from others. They also take rejection very hard. Quick and explosive, the Uranian impulse may be reflected in a sudden change of mood. This quality is unsensitive for August 31st people. By the changeable traits of Virgos, rulers Mercury's is close association with Uranus in the matter of communication. And it says the tarot for 83119. It says the fourth card of the major arcana is the Emperor, who rules over the concrete and worldly things through wisdom, the primary source of his power. The Emperor is stable and wise. The force of the authority cannot be questioned. The positive, that's mine too. But I'm the Empress. But and then it says your strengths, 83119ers. Your strengths are you're dynamic, you're influential, and you're fun. Your weaknesses are you're fragile, you're social dependent, and you're caustic. I'm gonna say it again. Your strengths are dynamic, and you're influential, and you're fun. And your weaknesses are you're fragile, you're social dependent, and you're caustic. I guess you take caution in things that you do. Advice for you 83119ers is seek inner guidance, spend more time alone with yourself, and lessen your needs for approval or attentions. Find good balance between food and fun and responsibility. Brother was just speaking about that, how we like to keep it balanced here on the show. See, just to tell you how the flow of things is are well too, how we are in the flow of what we do. So you guys can see this is real. That's why I jumped back and forth. We talked about certain things before we even got into the show, and here we are touching back around to it again. So to let you know that this is real, this is no joke. So it's up to you to research and get in tune and get in touch and be like the rest of 144,000 of us, right? All right. So take that into mind. Advice, seek inner guidance, spend more time alone with yourself. And lesson this for anybody for real, because I just did this. Like I said, inner peace is it's a price that nobody can put on you. I'm telling you, nobody can give you that inner peace. Yourself, a lesson your need for approval or attention. Find a good balance between fun, food, and responsibility. Cultivate your appreciation of others. And it says your meditation goal is to do know the story of the city of the mouse and the country mouse. Wow.
You say do know the what? Do that.
Yeah, that's the meditation for the 83119ers. They need to meditate of knowing the story, I guess, to exemplify, but you don't have to take nobody else's dictation. Do you know the story of the city mouse and the country mouse? I guess for that balance.
Yeah, both of them live different lives.
Right, right. One was poorly and one was lived a, well, not poorly. One lived a more, I guess, resourceful life, and one lived a more spoiled, like a, yeah, more like hands-on life where everything was at reach.
Right.
You know, kind of spoiled. Yeah. So yeah. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me go on to. I like to go to the next day, which is the September the 1st. And because I wanted to go on to that, because oh, this sign symbol, when we had Sister Precious Mother Love on here, she did the thing on the numbers, and she was saying that it's just circular back around to making the completion of life, like the circle of life. It just continues to circle. I'm not going to get into much about their attributes or anything. I'm just going to get into the 9-1-1-9ers. I'm just going to get into your strengths, your consciousness, your physical, your fearless, and your weaknesses is insistent, and you're grim, and you're unyielding. And the day of your birthday is called the day of no nonsense. The day of no nonsense. So with that being said, we're going to drop some more funk. And like I said, there's no musical infringement intended. We do not own the rights to this music. Then I'm going to come back to you with some numbers on that 4, give you the breakdown on that
content. You up and running, nigga?
All right. We back. Okay. Now, as I got into this before we started, I was talking about 3 and 1 equals 4, which, we talk about this number thing. We've been talking about this number thing, which is part of our journey in this matrix that we live in. Knowing about numbers, like Precious Mother Love was here, and she dropped some of her knowledge and her research on numbers. And I told you guys I had some information on it as well, because numerology is powerful. When you're probably wondering why people always be talking about numbers and why certain numbers mean certain things to them, just like before we even got awoke, and back in the day people were talking about numbers. Like you heard your uncles and aunts, they always talk about my favorite number when they go down there and play that number. Go that girl, go on down and play my number.
When you wake up in the morning, the days, we got a date.
First thing remind you what day it is.
What day it is, what month it is, what year it is. Everything's being documented. It's a reason,
Exactly.
This whole matrix run
when you was first born, you was stamped a number. You know what I'm saying? Your SS number. So that's why it's a powerful situation, and why not that you go down from the numbers from even counting the numbers in your spelling of your name. Is all kinds of significance. In how single digits mean more than any other numbers. That's why we're always adding double digits to making them single digits, because they're more higher, the more significant, the bigger the balance of that number can equal to. So, and a lot of answer lies within the numerology. Okay, so there are many disciplines within the New Age movement, many ways to explain the energy of the universe. So astrology can give you insight into your personalities and your destiny in this lifetime. So can numerology. Just as astrology is a system of encodement for all the energy in the universe, so is numerology. So like a lot of things work hand in hand together, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to research on both sides to get that balance. What brother was speaking on, which he's going to talk on next. Also it says within this energy in the universe, it's all numbers also, each of which has its own particular meaning, and each number correlates with the specific universal vibrations, which you also hear brother talks about a lot too. So reason why I go back and forth, like I said, I'm gonna say it again to remind you guys that we're not sitting up here making this up, okay? So a lot of the stuff we have foresaid before I even opened up these books, before brother even brought his notes in and what have you. So once you understand the meaning of numbers, not only can you make sense of what are good, which are bad days, but you can also have some insight into the people you are surrounded you. You know about their personalities and how they connect with you. Each of us have many numbers associated with us. Our first names, our whole name, our birthday, the total of our birth date. Those numbers add up to something like an astrological chart. It complex symbolisms that represent the sums and totals of real you. Yes, there are many different numbers that can seem confusing at first, but you are a complex and interesting person. All of us are. So, with that being said, you aren't, and there more to you than any simplicity in definition. How to do and know what your numbers are is simple as 1, 2, 3. But I'm not going to give you all that in this segment, because I'm going to turn it over to my brother, because we got 10 more minutes before we have the second half. And you have to tune in because I'll be able to break it down to you. But before we go, I do want to give you the meaning of number 4 before you go. But I will, next time we talk on the spiritual knowledge of the metaphysics and the metrics of the getting through this journey. I'll bring it back and I'll give you the tips on how you can take your whole name and figure out your journey. It's very easy, like I said, it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, the meaning for number 4 is, like I said, today is August the 31st. Before we even open this book, I said 3 and 1 is 4. 4 is a hard worker. You do your chores willingly. You always strive to do your best. People can really count on you to come through for them because you're so responsible and you're never lazy and you always give it your all. Okay, August the 31st, 2019ers. You're the bomb. And like I said, I'll have to bring this back to the next time we do this and give you some more information. See, knowledge is powerful, so we got a lot to go for. So don't sleep. And I'm allowed brother to go ahead and give you some of his research and information that he brought for you today.
When you get like on 4 minutes, you can let me know, and then I hit that red button.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I did some research on like I was speaking just a little on like candle magic with fire, the fire element, and the third eye. You know, I had spoke on the third eye before, because once you declassify that, basically you're good to go. That's your connection to the spirit realm. You know, when you think about it, and I'm just gonna give you a guy asked me the other day, he said, I always hear you talking about your dreams, right? And, you know, I dream 2-3 times a night. I always dream, I always know my dreams, travel in my dreams, do different things with the dreams. But he said he dreamed, but he can never remember them, right? And he want to know, you know, how I always remember my dreams, right? So I told him, I say, for one, I'm gonna tell you a few things you're doing. I say basically, he healthy, eat. I don't know how healthy he is, but I know a lot of times he always have apples and oranges and stuff. He tries to stay away from junk food. I said that's good. He's a rapper too, but I said some things you need to do and you can stay away from. I say because your pineal gland is classified.
Right.
And he didn't know what I was talking about. So I went into little details.
Yeah.
Nah, he knew it was something, but he you know,
threw him off a little bit.
Yeah, so I had to explain to him. And if you listen to this clip, you can just write pineal gland, you know, the pineal gland down. And then that's some homework you can do. And it's classified, meaning that it's dead, it's dormant. It's not dead, but it's not working. So that's why he couldn't remember his dreams. And the powers that be, they doing everything they can do to keep it classified. So, meaning stay away from fluoride. They put that in your drinking water. When you turn on that faucet and that water come out, they got fluoride in the water. Why would they even put that in there? You know, fluoride, what it do is it put a coat over you, and it's like, say for instance, you walking and you talking and somebody hits you, sneak punch you, and you be in a daze. That's like what it's doing to your pineal gland. All right, you go get your toothpaste, right? They got fluoride in that, eating up your teeth. So I told him to start using natural toothpaste, right? Stay away from that faucet water, you know, buy your water, you know. A lot of times you can drink distilled water, that's good water. But I always drink water with high pH. And so that's 3 things you can do, right? So, but anything that got to do with fluoride, you don't want to put that in your body, right? Stay away from a lot of junk food, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause sugar, all this kind of stuff is bad. The more natural you be, like I said before, stop eating meat. What's gonna happen is your pineal gland is gonna stop working and functioning. Different people have different things when it's up and running. Some people can look at you and see your aura, see a whole aura around you, because everyone has auras, and they can see the colors in it. Some people feel energy. Like, and I'm gonna tell you a quick story about when your pineal gland is not classified. I had a dream 2 nights ago. I'm not gonna say the people's name. I tell you off camera because you know the people. And in this dream, it was like 3 segments of the dream, but this dream with this one person, he hired me to do a job, so I went to do the job. And when it was time to get paid, he didn't pay me right. Talking about we cool, I thought, but they ain't the agreement we had made. So I was pissed, right? And then I said, man, this, because he came to pick me up. I said, all right, just put my equipment on this truck and take. But he said, no, I got something to do. He didn't even want to do that. So that's when I really let him have it. So when I was letting him have it, he was like enjoying. He was like, come on, give it to me. Yeah, get. I know that was in you. Get. And that's when I caught myself. I was like, this is an energy vampire. He's feeding off of my anger, right? So that anger falls into actually the fire element when you work in magic. The fire, I'm gonna jump back to the dream, is one of the elements, one of the 5 elements, and it's, you can create with it, right? But it's got to be controlled because it's actually a living entity. But I get back to that. So after the dream, it was a bunch of water running. I was like, where all this water coming from? And I had to write my number down on the paper, but the paper was wet. So that's another element in the dream. I was like,
fire, water.
It was water, right? So long story short, the water was coming through like a water hose, and the water hose got real big, like it was about to bust. So I told another guy in the dream, I said, open the valves so the water can go through. So he opened the valves, right?
Okay, so if it's about the bust, that's pressure, which is air.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't even thinking about that part. But I was. Okay. So he opened them, and so the water ran through, and it was flowing peacefully, and I was calm again, right? But once I told the young lady about the dream, the guy was contacting her to do some work with her, right, behind my back. You see what I'm saying? But why would I have a dream? Because when I woke up, I just thought it was a dream, and I was looking at the meaning of the dream, but not the person. Because when you have dreams, sometimes
it's not about human flesh. It could be about something in reality state.
Yeah, it might not be about that person.
Right, but it could be about.
But you gotta look at what's happening in the dream.
Right.
But at this particular time, it was about that person because I was telling her the dream, and she was like, "Wow." I was like, "Wow, what's going on?" And then she told me what he was doing, right? And I was like, okay, that's my ancestor or higher self, spirit, putting me on point.
Putting you on point.
What's going on?
Alarming you.
Right. And so, what that tell me now I won't even do business with this guy.
Right.
When he come in the future, try to do business, just stay away from that business. Right. And the water part was, no matter how I was angry at him, right, if I keep that anger, I was going to explode.
Right.
And
you just taking wind in and
right,
let it calmly flow out.
And I calmed down. And you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to explode. And the funny thing, because I said explode when I was taking my notes, is actually a thing called, they nicknamed it, but it's human combustion. Human combustion. That means, have you ever heard of that? When you
can explode from the inside out.
Yeah, and they actually did that on I'm not gonna say that. That's a recording from the church.
Okay.
So, remember that movie, The Ghostbusters, and how they was like exploding from the inside out.
Right.
But that's actually come from your now believing the dream. So that's just an example how that when you're on point, when your third eye is open, you will have dreams that would warn you about things that will come. And then, like I say, you will remember the dreams. So I just gave him a few things, and if he do
the exercise,
he gonna start remembering his dreams. But a lot of people, you got to have willpower. You know, we've been trained certain things for so long, it's hard to get willpower. So, the Kundalini energy, right? Okay, so a lot of people, I don't know if you heard with Bill Gates and them, they was trying to block the sun. That's when they playing. So, as far as like for fire element, you can go in the bathroom, just clean your third eye. Light a candle. There's some candles over there. You can take a basic white candle, go in a dark room, a bathroom, or just a regular dark room, and stir into the fire, right? When you stir right into the fire, that's just like another form of sun gazing. When you outside, you stirring into the sun. You know, you basically burning and clearing whatever declassification that's over that pineal gland, and eventually, you know, that'll help. You know, and it's some herbs that you can get too, that you can make tea out of and drink, and that will help. So, if you're not ready for a spiritual awakening, I don't suggest you do this, because you're not. Once that eye open, your whole world gonna change. It's not gonna be about.
And you'll start seeing some things. You'll start doing some things that you never thought you'd be doing.
Yeah, because you're gonna see what it
your life
really
will start
is,
changing.
Your friends and everything.
Everything will change.
So if you're happy where you at right now, just stay where you at until you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I ain't, you know what I mean? Everybody is not
ready.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and when I got my call, and you know, I guess I was ready, but I didn't know what I was
ready for. Right. You got to start to walking and researching and understanding.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you can't get no understanding until you start walking and researching.
So if you're listening to this message and you know, you getting the vibe, just you know, you can look into these things. Like I said, you can just Google pineal gland, third eye, different herbs that you can take to open it.
Detoxing, human combustion.
Yeah. And so magic, when I say magic, the fire element, and I told you it was a living entity. Quick story, I'm gonna try to say in like a half a minute. Fire, okay, we got time. Fire is a living, if you fire uncontrolled, you know will kill.
Right.
Right? You got your outside fire. Then you also have your inside fire.
Right.
And that's passion. Okay. Right? You can use that, like even when you're having sex fires.
That's why you heat up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You get hot.
Fire and desire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all that's real. You can get to a point where, some people, they want you to, hurt me, beat me, hit me. And it's just, you know, it's all into whoever doing it or how high I get. But that's that Kundalini energy.
Right.
What I told you about them serpents that sit at our lower spine.
Be going like this through our chakras.
Actually, we got a base. When you look at our chakras, right? Our chakra system, that's another word you can put down. But everybody has chakras, and their Kundalini energy is dormant, just like the pineal gland. The majority of the people is walking around here like zombies. You know, on the way here, I seen a truck that had a picture like a zombie with some kind of design drew on it, but it was like the zombie alert team. And I was like, damn. I was ready to take a picture of it, but the light changed. It was a big ass logo. So I got coming a little bit further, getting closer to here. I seen it on the back of a car, but this one was red. Zombie alert team. So I'm like,
it must be some type of club or something.
A club or something? What's going on? Is this a new? So what I'm saying, all this to say is that there could be some shit getting ready to kick off, because they were saying some stuff supposed to happen in 2020, but don't nobody really know the date.
Right, don't nobody know what's going on.
People riding around with that on there. I don't know if it was a joke. That's my first time seeing it. I'm going to go do some research on that, because the stuff is right here in your face.
It's right in our face. It's up to you to take signs to it and do the research.
Because I pay attention to everything.
Correct. Got to.
So what I was saying about the fire inside is the passion. And once you learn how to control the passion, you, like I said, you can create. They say when you make love with someone, and when y'all reach y'all peak to the orgasm, you both focus on whatever y'all trying to manifest, right?
Right.
And that's like one of the highest form of manifestation right there. But that's through sex magic, using the inner fire, right? The outer fire, You know, like when you write down your vision and make it plain, and when you go out on a full moon and you burn it, you're using the outer fire and send it back up into smoke, back up to the ethers, back up to the universe.
Okay.
You know, so
those are the two types of fires.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I say, fire is a living entity, and it has to be controlled. Because out of control, it would kill you. You can actually, a lot of people like bonfires, like people that live over in London or in Alaska, places where the sun ain't shining that much. They light fires and they stir into the fire.
Just like they do with the kids and on Halloween, they gather around the pumpkin patch and they do the bonfires.
Yeah,
it's a significant meaning, so it's this living energy, you know.
So you stare into that fire, and like I said, it's in
camping. When you go camping, what's the center of attention? The fire.
And that fire is in this realm, but it's also in the spirit realm.
Right.
Right. So this quick story, I had one day was meditating and I was looking at the fire, right? And the fire was just moving, and the flame, and I took my hand, and cause something told me to touch the fire, but I was ain't gonna touch the fire. I put my hand by the fire, and let me tell you about the 3 stages of fire too. Red fire, right? When you see the fire and it's like yellowish red, that's when you light a match. That's what you basically see. That's the lower
vibration
form of fire.
Fire.
Right? Then when you see the blue fire, that blue fire with the yellow is hotter than the red fire.
Right.
Right? But then when you see the green fire, that's the hottest of all. But then you gotta look at the green color is the heart chakra. You see what I'm saying? And you very rarely see green fire. I know if you burn ancestor money, a lot of times you'll see it, but that go with the emperor. And he's green. So all these are connections when I talk about colors. Like you say, you can see them colors up there. You know, you got your red.
You just spoke of those 3 colors. Those 4, I mean.
The green, the heart. The yellow is the solar plex, like the sun. That's energy. When you see the sun, with the sun look like a big fireball, right?
Correct.
You stand into it. So that's a form. The closer you get,
Look
it get
at the
hot
fire on
and it
top
will
of
burn you up.
Look at the fire on top of the head.
On top of the head. But see, that's the crown chakra. That's when it's fully, when your kundalini energy rises.
It's fully engulfed.
That's that flame. That's fire represent, right? And that's what it is. You see that it's fire, you know. But you're not just gonna see somebody
on fire like that,
right?
Like that. Of course,
it's in the third realm. But
right.
That means his pineal gland is fully, his third eye is fully. He's a god basically. And when we're doing these things, what we're actually doing is turning into god bodies, meaning that the stuff you practice, if you do your research and do your work, you're gonna be invincible, immortal.
Yeah, because we are He who made us. We are He who made us.
They ain't gonna be able to touch you. So that's why I say it's just a journey, and people on different steps of the journey. So when you look at that, you be like, the average person don't know, but there's a lot of people.
That's why we can heal ourselves. That's why we can.
And with the fire element, funny you say that. If you got kidney disease or you got whatever, you can do the research and you can get the mantras for kidney disease, the mantras for heart, for cancer. They got mantras, and what you do is you can either write them down or you can just say the mantras while you sun gazing, while you candle gazing, looking into the fire.
So that's another one, mantras.
Mantras. So when you doing that stuff, that actually heals your body. It's like faith. When the Bible say, "Oh, ye a little faith," I was telling you, I was looking at the fire, and the Spirit told me to touch the fire, but I put my hand by it, and the fire was just like, and then the fire actually leaned over to my finger, like it knew what it was doing. It had its own conscience, and I was looking at it. Then the fire touched my finger, right? And when the fire was touching my finger, because the word was saying the fire is not hot, and it stayed on my finger for like, I can say 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time I got the fire, I'm tripping, right? I'm like, hold up, this fire touching, it ain't hot, and I don't believe. Soon as I ain't believe, it got hot, and I had to move my hand. But that's just like when it was Peter when he was walking on the water, and he say, "If you be the Christ, call me." And he stepped off the boat and he was walking on water with Jesus, Joshua, and then he started doubting, like, "How am I walking on this water? This can't be." And he started sinking. And Joshua say, Jesus said, "Oh, ye a little faith." That was the same incident with the fire when I was feeling. I had actually videoed it, and I was with this group at a time, the Indigo Tribe, and I posted it, right? But I tried to post it, but it wouldn't.
Wait a minute, when you say y'all was at you was with the Indigo Tribe, where were y'all at?
I was at home doing this, but
okay.
This was a couple of years back. I was with this group on Facebook.
You was in a group. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
So I went to post it.
Oh, because I didn't want people to think that you went out somewhere and y'all was a tribe of people.
No, it was like 2,000 members. It was a lot of us, but we was learning from each other, right?
Right.
So I went to post this, and they wouldn't let me post it. It would not load up.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The energy was too much.
Nah, they watching everything.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, if fire is not hot, right? That just showed me. So now I go back to touch it, whatever. It's hot. But you can reach levels of frequency of being, elevated, and it's certain things that you could do that the average person won't be able to do because you're on that frequency.
Exactly.
But staying on that frequency is a
job.
It's work. Thing on itself.
It's work. Yeah.
So that's why Jesus can walk on waters. He can raise the dead. All of it's just an energy. You know what I'm saying? But all us got that in us because he said we're supposed to do greater things than him.
Exactly.
So how many of us doing greater things? We got work to do. So that's just one of the elements. That's fire.
So that was marching. What was the word you used? Marching.
Oh, mantras.
Yeah. Fire. You use.
And let me tell you another thing. If you feeling stressed out, because everything, like I said in theory realm, when you do stuff in your mind, right, you actually doing it. So it just didn't make its way into 3D.
The physical, right?
But you actually did it.
Already doing it.
Yeah. So if you're stressed out, you can picture yourself.
Break it down.
You can picture yourself in a fire, right? Literally in a fire. And what that would do, it would burn off a lot of negative. You telling it what to do. You understand?
So that's why if you look at all the history, why they walked over the coals.
Yeah, they could do that because they was on a frequency.
And
the coal wasn't hot.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
They was probably hotter than the coals.
But that just goes to show you, is when you start dealing with the mind.
Not our ancestors, but the African ancestors, they used to burn the scars in their face.
But that is our ancestors.
Yeah, okay.
We from Africa, we the original people.
Okay.
And what the thing is, why they want to block the sun is because they not original people. You understand what I'm saying? You got, like I say, reptilians. They be shape-shifting. You got all kinds of shit going on that y'all probably wouldn't even know about until you start your research.
Right.
And they running this matrix, and as long as they keep the people in a spell,
they feel they winning.
They ain't feel it, they winning. But see what it is now though, we're in the age of Aquarius and a lot of people waking up. I even seen it, I posted last night. Nas did a song called No Negative Energy. And I like that joint.
It's new.
He got the girl. Yeah, it been like 2 or 3 months it been out.
Okay.
But I posted, if you go on my page and see it.
Oh, okay.
And the girl
it's
on there
No
burning sage.
Energy.
He said he don't want no negative energy.
I know that's right.
He just ran into all that money from the investment he had.
Oh, okay.
I mean, millions of dollars.
Yeah,
so,
that's who I was saying get ready to make their own little network channel. Him and somebody else.
Yeah, because he got money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but he got this thing called.
If I'm not mistaken, it's him and Cube. If I'm not mistaken.
But see, here's the thing. Now, mainstream back in the day, like Earth, Wind, and Fire and all that, was kicking knowledge. But the powers that be, no, we can't have this. So they changed the game and had the people kicking bitches' holes And
Right.
You see how we
The
fail as a
degrading.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now in the age of Aquarius, we
It's
back on the
lifting
rise.
up. Mhm.
And that's why it's good to be independent and you can put out what you want to put out.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
And
the
a lot of
power is
rappers,
switched
Beyonce,
over. Mhm.
now all these kind of people now,
Got the
they
power.
bucking up against the system, and they go on vegan, they pushing that. And that's how we gonna come back and take the power back as a people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and it is going to take us to unite.
Here we here right now talking about this on this show, right? You know, some people, one or two might get it. If say I don't know how many people watching, but also they can always repull this once we put it out in cyberspace. There, you go into the Five and Dime store. No, it was the Dollar Tree. Where I told you we seen these.
Oh, 5 and below.
5 and below. They got these. They got incense, sage. Now, you understand what I'm saying? The industry, wherever they see, they watch us. And whatever way we going, they tap into it to make that
it
money.
commercial.
You understand? So it come commercial, but to make that money.
Right.
But that's the way we going. And it was
Yes, it
already
is.
forespoken. They can't stop it.
No.
That's why they trying to block the sun, putting chemtrails up, putting they doing all they can do. They on their last leg. So it is what they know they can't stop. So they gonna probably end up going back underground, because the closer the sun get to the earth, they gonna burn them out. But we can take it because we some people.
Yeah,
You feel
magical
me?
people. Yeah.
You see that sun over there? We was made for the sun.
We are people of the mighty people
What?
of the sun. In our heart
Earth, Wind, and
lies
Fire, they was before
all
they
the
was before they
answers
time.
to the truth we
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
Hey,
And see, they can't say that.
No.
Why would you want to even block the sun? But you know,
that's that.
You
So
can
how
take
much
it.
more you got on YouTube?
that was just a little
bit
bit
to
like
give 'em-
fire is the element of fire,
Okay.
and the third eye, because
Okay.
you need your third eye to actually work magic.
To see the fire.
You need fire, just one element. You can
Right.
do water.
Right.
You can do water magic. You can do earth magic. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But I
So
just
so
touch-
many things. Right.
And what I'm just touching on this is because I'm just planting the seed. You got to go do your own research. Because like
That's
I say,
right.
nothing written in stone. You might get something that I ain't get. Because the spirit, anything written down in a book, anything that's on the video, is old news.
Correct. And you,
You
have
know,
to do
They
your-
study us. Why do you think they study us?
Mm-hmm.
Because they trying to stay ahead of us. But when that spirit come to us and we keep it to ourselves and move, we gonna be on top of them. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And so I'll be talking on some other stuff, as far as the other different types of magic, because this room we live in, they did on it. They been on it. They working our magic against us. So just do some research. It's easy. Right now we're in the age of Aquarius. Anything that's on that computer, you can find out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because it's gonna come a time we ain't gonna be able to go to the computer.
Yep, and you can get
You know?
books, like you see me and brother, it's out there. So it's no reason that you
But
can't
the
get
good
the
part
information.
of that is channeling.
Yep.
That's a whole nother thing. Channeling is when you get it direct from the creator. You know what I'm saying? But then you got other people channeling some other stuff too. So that's that's
And this is so remarkable. This is so remarkable that we were speaking on this. And I just opened this page up, and this is where I had the paper I was going to speak on. Secrets of personal power, special sections of positive energy and magic, spells for increasing wealth. But I'm not going to get into that. But which we was just talking about, trusting the amazing powers of the astral colors. And as you was just talking about how, going through the chakras and
and the Kundalini energy.
yes, and see, and down here it says about the air and how all of that ties into, even get down to the burning of Samat, and it's just all into.
And I'm gonna say this too. The planet actually has a chakra. See, the planet is a living entity. The Earth, and like I said, she already shifting. She's moving up. That's why you're seeing a lot of tornadoes and storms and hurricanes and all this stuff. It's like an old car that's been sitting and you start it up. It goes trying to, start up.
Start
Well,
up
once
like
it
a
start
girl
up,
it's woo,
and get it
that
tuned,
thing.
she out of here.
Yeah.
And if you're not on her frequency, you're going to be stuck here. You
Yes,
feel what I'm
indeed.
saying?
And that's what we're going to talk about. It's called the special section of positive energy magic. And it says here, we've all heard about living in the moment. But what does that really mean to you and me? You are not living in the moment. When you are constantly struggle to get to the perfect relationship or job or recognition or whatever it is that will finally make your life wonderful. When you are fragile or anxious in reality, that very things are striving to bring into your life more further and further away from you. When you are not happy in your present, how can you expect to attract happiness in your future? To live in the moment is to discover what makes you happy right now. Learning to live in the moment takes just a little rethinking. Like you said, put it in your mind. But you'll quickly find out it will bring you to tremendous joy. Because all you got to do is put it in your mind that you already there.
And everything
Make
is
it
mental.
past. That's right. Make it mental. I've included some wonderful rituals that will help you to
Let me
focus.
say this too. Stay with you at right there.
Okay.
When I say everything is mental, this just popped in my head, right? Why do they call the powers that be the governments? They call it the governments because they want to govern your what? Mental. Once they govern your mental, they got you. You got to take back your mental and govern your own mental.
That's right. That's right. That's why it's called living in the moment, which just takes a little of rethinking. Rethinking.
And
So-
re means to go back. Whenever
That's
you say a
right.
word with re, and you going back to what? Going back to the original man, the original, the
You.
original power. The
That's
original
right.
You.
Now, where was okay? It says it will have you to focus now on the surrounding, like you just said, you, with lots of positive energy. If you see yourself and you don't begin to embrace the treasures, the day-to-day moments in your life, you'll discover that the personal success, happiness, and financial securities are all within your reach. Begin it today. Mentally think it. It's possible, folks. I'm telling you. Just like me and brother tell you every week. When we come here, I prepare every week. Like we are prime time already. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see I go through all the hair changes and I just go through all the research, getting you the information, doing all I can far as making sure that my budget is intact to make sure I can pay for my time. All that with it being said, that preparation is part of the process, what makes, you know what I'm saying, me and brother teaming up on getting interviews and going out there doing the footwork. All of it takes work. And without no works, it's void. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's void. So just like, he was
Faith
saying.
without work is dead.
That's
That's
right.
About.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So everything, just like this information, you gotta go get it. You gotta go get it. And especially when you start, like I said, once that motor starts, it's gonna drive you to want to more. It's gonna drive you to want to research. It's gonna drive you to just keep on and giving. And you see, I can't put it down. I just realized we got some more time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna find one more thing that I'm gonna bring out to you. I didn't read, so the top part of this about your journal, which will also help you have secrets of personal power. So what I'm gonna do is get brother to drop some more funk on you, and then we're gonna come back with the last part of secrets of personal power, and then I'll probably do a little bit of word on the street segment for you. All right, so here's some music. We do not own the musical, no musical infringement intended. And we do not own the rights to this music, but enjoy.
She's here, Mr. Johnson. you.